I'm alive. Hello, welcome to Failing and Read the News, episode number 129 in the chat. There's nobody again. As you can probably guess, I'm extremely hungover as well. So yeah, not a good thing, but what can you do? Hello, TC.
Prevent the hangover by not getting drunk next time? I don't know. Hello, DC.
Yeah, the thing is, it was that fucking bad. I literally thought it was a good idea to steal a fucking traffic cone last night. So now I just have a fucking traffic cone sitting in my bedroom.
So the question would now be is, did you get drunk to where you woke up wondering, where am I? Or were you drunk to the point where you're wondering, who am I?
Because I think I wonder who I am every morning. It's like, that's not normal account. That's pretty normal account following to predict.
Hello, gorgeous.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this hangover is kicking my fucking arse right now. Yeah, man does a poo on man's roof and shoves some of it down the chimney.
Strong start.
And the grinning culprit posted for a rude snap as he did the dirty deed, then shared a photo with his pals. The disgusted homeowner claims. Yeah, oh my word. A dreadful builder did a poo on a family's roof when he was supposed to be fixing a leak. However, a disgusted homeowner says the grinning culprit posted for a rude snap as he squatted on top of the house and did a number 2. And then shared the photo with his pals that he claimed. The 38-year-old dad who hired the building firm has to do work on his home in Skegness, Lincolnshire. Says the man even shoved some of his feces down the chimney stack. What are they doing? Do they just pick it up and then put it down the chimney?
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
All right, I'm back. What up? Hello, people.
Of course, it'll be here. Homeowner says the shocking photos eventually made it round to him, and he was left stunned and revolted when he found a large pile of feces on top of his roof. It says graphic photos, but these photos are not graphic. It's even worse than this. After I told you earlier, Chuck, I used to realize this happened in Lincolnshire.
No, I'm not surprised.
The dad who asked to remain anonymous said, I need a leak in my loft fixing. I saw an advert in the local brochure. I did my checks, it appeared to be okay, so I asked him to do the work. I went up on the scaffolding and I noticed the feces. I was a bit disgusted. I said to them I would provide toilet facilities in the house, and they could use the kitchen when they started the work. They even shoved some of it down the chimney stack. Oh, this is fun stuff for item brew.
And the whole the whole neighborhood will be smelling it for a month.
Well, the owner will certainly. Lucky for him, the fire's fully boarded up by now. That's usually what happened. Fires get boarded up. And thank you, Green Fund official in the stream labs.
No problem.
No, when I said the photos showing the man defecating on the roof went viral on a local scale. Well, it's not really viral then, is it? He was stunned when it was sent to him. The man said Skegness is a very small area. He sent the photos to someone and found their way to me. I asked the director of the company about it, and he showed in the photos. I felt he got very aggressive. The dad said he refused to pay for the work. He said he was forced to hire a different company to finish the work. He had to double check everything had been done correctly. The man added, I had to get another company to finish the job because I wasn't certain they'd done a good job. Hello, Honey Monster. In June, a footballer unwittingly showed a poo photo of his fans on social media and denied it was his. Another random internet box, haven't seen you around for a while.
Oh.
Meanwhile, a recent about half of British couples spread poo bacteria to each other by sharing towels. I mean, that makes sense.
You know, I've heard the term shit on a shingle, but I don't think that's what that means.
No.
None of it is. Oh my fucking god, man. I think I need to stop drinking. It's not good for you.
Yeah. Nope.
You do stupid things. Dad's warning to parents after he ends up in jail for smashing daughter's phone. So you're not allowed to punish your kids anymore, basically.
Yeah, they're making it harder to punish your kids, which is why we have little shits running around not respecting anyone.
Exactly. The single father said
there goes my favorite. There goes some of my favorite YouTube. There goes some of my favorite YouTube channels. The ones where parents take their kids' cell phones and laptops and all that and smash them.
No, I mean, if the daughter was an adult and paid for her own phone, then I could understand. But I'm going to assume that she's a kid, or at least a teenager, and the dad paid for the phone, therefore if he paid for the phone, therefore he can technically smash it because he paid for it.
Technically makes it his.
Yeah. The single father said the argument broke out over the missing chocolate bar.
Who argues over a missing chocolate bar?
A single father and his daughter.
That is a stupid argument.
It's somebody who really, really, really wanted to try that anti-racism Cadbury bar.
It's like, did you eat the chocolate bar? You're like, yeah, hell yeah, I ate the chocolate bar. What you gonna do about it?
Yeah, my son used to accidentally smash his phone before I had the chance to throw it against the wall. A district father issued a warning to other parents after he found himself in a jail cell for smashing his teenage daughter's mobile phone. The father, free who cannot be named for legal reasons, said the whole thing started over a missing chocolate bar, after which his daughter threw a tantrum. Initial police reports claim the dad, 41, had physically dragged his daughter for the house. An allegation which was denied by the girl's father. Speaking to a current affair, the dad from New South Wales, Australia, said he had questioned his 13-year-old daughter about whether she had eaten the chocolate bar. She denied doing so. He said The girl's brother found the rapper in her room. Basically, his brother grassed him up there. Grassed it up. The father then insisted she go to her room and hand over the mobile phone. As punishment, at which point she broke into a typical teenage tantrum. He told Australian media while I was getting back into my room she was struggling with me, and she even pushed me with both falling. Police originally said the father had thrown a small ladder out of the way in order to get the girl. Her dad has actually grabbed. Did he actually grab the ladder to stop himself from falling? This is an advert for the chocolate bar company. Oh, maybe. Yeah, hit that like button. When tipped over, a light bulb smashed the light bulb at the same time. As he was cleaning up glass, the man's daughter stormed out of the room, accidentally cutting her foot on one of the shards. That's what happens, though. That's not the dad's fault. Like the dad had nothing to do with that. If the joke about his name that I'm proved right. I prove I'm right. Father claimed his daughter continued to insist on getting her phone back, but despite his claims to calm her down. And good luck to having a teenager down, especially a fucking female teenager.
So, one of the things when I was in foster care, basically my foster parents wanted to only foster boys because girls come with too much drama. So, yeah.
Yeah, women in the drama. They love the drama, don't they?
Two men get mad at each other, they beat the shit out of each other, and then they're all right. Women just are mad at each other forever.
Yeah, so with the slightest little thing. And even that, I've known women that were like, they'd fall with each other one week and then next week they'd be best friends again. It's like, why? You know, men, they'll throw a few punches. They'll shake hands afterwards and they'll like, go for a beer or something. It was at this point he threatened to smash the phone if she continued to shout at him. And there's no point in having kids if you can't beat them, Oliver Twist. I mean, he didn't even beat them, he just smashed their phone. And when she did not relent, he followed through with his threat. The girl called her mother and after contacted the police. He said, I ended up grabbing the phone off her and I was speaking to the lady on 000 and she's like, put your daughter back on. I wouldn't even listen to me. The man at Signal Father was charged with assault, occasioning actual bodily harm and intentionally destroying a mobile phone. Well, how was that assault if it was a mistake? And the father wouldn't have smashed the phone if he could have backhanded the one. Yeah, but then he would give a charge of assault. Even worse than an assault than he already had been. He said, when I was in the police station in the cell, I was so upset. I was crying in the cell. I was just upset that I could not fathom that I had come to this situation. The father has not spoken for his daughter for 4 months now, but he said he does not blame her for what happened and just wants to give her a cuddle. In court, Magistrate Andrew Doors listened to arguments from both sides before dismissing the assault charges was good. Because it was an accident. He didn't actually assault her, so... He recorded no conviction from the destruction of the mobile phone and deemed the whole incident a waste of time. And I agree. Hello, Crappy. Welcome back, Chuck.
Hello, everybody.
What up, Crappy?
Okay.
I see everybody still here. Blind girl didn't open the portal to hell.
I'm not gonna say. No comment. Are you on about her echoing? It's only because she's in on Discord or something. That's probably why. I don't know.
I think Sir Six said basically it's because she's coming through the TV speakers.
He and Miss Sick are not wearing headphones. They're using the actual speakers.
They could have just used Discord. That would have been easier.
I hate Discord. No matter what I do, anytime I go in, before anyone can hear me, I have to go into settings and change which microphone it's using.
I feel sorry for the phone. Mother is allowed to keep her toilet-inspired pee before we go license plate.
Oh, that's a great license plate, though. Who would be offended at that? It's great advice.
Yeah. Then again, people are offended at everything.
True.
Mother has successfully battled government officials after they ordered her to hand over her toilet-inspired pee before we go vanity license plate. When the owner of Rochester, New Hampshire, has used a customized license plate for 15 years, but only recently has the new Hampshire Department of Motor Vehicles asked her to turn it in. Wow, that's stupid.
Well, that's like Virginia and the Confederate flag plate they had. They pulled all them back because it offended some people.
Yeah, but everything offends people these days.
Yeah. Whoa. I see a portal to hell I'd like to open. Oop, I'm sorry.
Is that just one of the perks of the job, though, is it? Is that one of the perks of the job?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
You're up higher.
Well, I guess it gets very lonely out on the road.
Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes it's a blessing, though.
I can imagine. Yeah, the initial sound for
except the wildlife season's over.
Just about.
Ooh, someone was preparing for hunting season today. He just hunt like a good 30 minutes of just constantly target practicing.
With how much Crappy and I have been sitting there saying wildlife season for the last 3 months, you cannot be that obtuse.
Yeah, the initial stand for pee before you go. Obviously, because I couldn't have figured that out myself.
How much wildlife you ever seen floating down a river in a tube?
I am too dense for my own good sometimes. Jesus.
The initial stand for pee before you go, which is an announcement Augur claimed is regularly used when getting in the car with children. Yeah, it is. She was able to keep the license plate for 15 years before the state ordered her to turn it in because phrases related to excretory acts are prohibited on license plates. Why? Hello, Tailed. Fucking move to you two. Augur told Seacoast Online, who has a mum or a dad, a parental figure who hasn't said that to their kids before leaving the house. I'm not the type to sit there with a picket, but come on. She had the stripping her of her custom license plate would infringe on her right to free speech and directly contradict the state motto, live free or die. It's a nice motto, I guess. Augur said he would just think if I don't have it anymore, I have to take it off the plate. Then I'm not going to be able to live free. Yeah, wouldn't this technically be a violation of the First Amendment? Right?
Yep.
Because, I mean, I know it's like a road vessel, so it has to be licensed and stuff, but it is a violation of the First Amendment, so, it isn't very free, is it?
Not really.
But it is also stipulated in the agreement for those plates that if it offends somebody, they have the right to pull it back.
Yeah, but then that definitely violates the First Amendment.
No.
Doesn't it?
That's a condition of receiving those personalized plates.
No, technically it's not really a First Amendment thing, considering you actually have to pay extra to get the customized plates and on conditions. I mean, there's nothing.
I think it's like $75 a year on top of what you already have to pay.
Depends on the state.
Yeah, well, that was when I looked into it.
Virginia's 25.
I would have thought it would have fallen under freedom of expression. So, yeah.
Virginia's 25. My wife pays them every year for her plates.
Eventually, New Hampshire Governor Chris Sun on you heard about Auger's issues with the division of motor vessels and decided to step in, overturning the DMV's ruling. On Wednesday, Sun Yu and you, on Wednesday before, told the Boston Globe, upon this being brought to my attention, I reached out to the division of motor vessels. I strongly urged them to allow Wendy to keep the license plate she's had for the last 15 years. I recently left a good message on her phone to share the good news that our plate will not be recalled. So far this year, 92 motors have been overturned or have been ordered this year to turn in their customized license plate. In all 2018, 111 were recalled. Yeah, stop getting offended at nothing. That's what I say about that. That's what it seems like to me. People just get offended by fucking fuck all, basically. German president asked for forgiveness 8 years after the start of World War II. Germany, when the fucking hell are you going to stop apologizing for this? I mean,
has Austria mentioned anything about their involvement in World War II?
Yeah, but Austria was overtaken by the Germans in World War II, so technically they were...
Hitler was Austrian.
Yeah, Hitler was Austrian, yes, but he moved to Germany.
More than Germany.
He moved to Germany at a very early age. So he pretty much grew up in Germany, and he was always somebody who wanted to see mostly German-speaking states in Europe to be reunited.
Yeah, because Austria was part of Germany until World War II, I believe, wasn't it?
I think it was separate, and then they got overtaken. Germany overtook them in World War II, I think.
Yeah. But because Hitler wanted to reunite Austria with Germany because originally it was part of Germany.
Yeah. Germany's President Frank Walter Steinmeier has asked for Poland's forgiveness 80 years after the start of World War II. I stand before you to those who have survived, before the descendants of the victims, the old and the young residents of Walloon. I am humbled and grateful. Steinmeier said during the ceremony in the Polish city of Walloon, the site of one of the first Nazi bombings in the country on the 1st of September 1939. I don't like the idea of people apologising for stuff their parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and stuff have done. But unless you were directly involved in it, you shouldn't be apologising for it.
I didn't do it. I ain't apologizing for it.
Nope.
Yeah. Only those with direct involvement should apologise. I bow to the victims of the attack in Walloon. I pay tribute to the Polish victims of German tyranny, and I ask for forgiveness, he said. Nearly 6 million Poles died in World War II, which remains the bloodiest conflict in history. More than 50 million people were killed in the overall conflict, including 6 million Jews, half of whom were Polish. At a ceremony in Warsaw, Polish President Andrzej Duda, I probably completely butchered that, spoke of the atrocious history suffered by Polish people during World War II and the trauma they still carry to this day. I don't know, unless you're really, really old, I don't think you would. Polish president remembered the fallen and thanked the soldiers who fought and sacrificed their lives for freedom. Addressed on Sunday morning in Westerplatte, Gdansk, Polish Prime Minister, our English Tom, Matt Foreign spoke of the huge material, spiritual, economic, and financial losses Poland suffered in the war. You cannot feel fucking sorry for Poland, though. As soon as they got rid of Nazis, they then had communism.
As soon as they got rid of communism, when it comes to everybody else who even hints at Poland, you.
Yeah. I mean, you have to feel sorry for coming to this. You finally get rid of Nazis and then you get communism. Like being punched in the face and then getting a kick in the balls for good measure. We have to remember about the losses we suffered. We have to demand the truth. We have to demand compensation for it, said. Yeah, I know they've done this before, but I think they only done it as a joke. Because I think the EU told them to get more immigrants in, and then Poland was like, "Well, Germany, do you mind giving us more reparations for World War II, and then we'll talk about it." I just thought, the Polish really did get a shitty stick. Yeah, they did. War reparations remain a contentious issue in Poland. Since coming to power in 2015, the Law and Justice Party has revived calls for compensation, lawyers reported. Germany made the last payment on reparations in 2010. At what point do you stop feeling bad about it and just move on with the rest of your life? I mean, Germany clearly hasn't learned its lesson, otherwise why would the EU still exist? U.S. Vice President Mike Pence spoke in Warsaw on Sunday at the ceremonial commemoration ceremony to mark the 80th anniversary of Germany's invasion of Poland. 2 days later, on the 3rd of September, Britain and France declared war on Germany. Oh, fuck's sake, wasn't later. During the 5 decades of untold suffering and death, before the outbreak of World War II, the Polish people never lost hope. They never get into despair, and they never let go of their 1,000-year history. No, they didn't yet. And Germany will never learn their lesson. They're either fully controlled or beautiful, they'll be wiped out. Look what happened the last time Germany tried to control Europe, though. Ended up getting split in half. Well, not quite in half, but you know what I mean, it got split. In the years that followed this day 8 years ago, the light shone in darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. So yeah, Germany, stop being fucking pussies. I mean, you pretend you learned your lesson, but you clearly haven't. What is Germany? This is why we should hate the Germans almost as much as the French. Jesus fucking Christ, I feel ill. This is painful. Twitter CEO Jack
You know what'll
Dorsey.
take care? You don't take that. You know what'll take care of that hangover?
What,
Iron Maiden.
Hair of the dog. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey has counter-hacked and posts reveal several racist tweets. Several offensive messages have been posted to the account of Jack Dorsey, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, which has 4.2 million followers. I don't know if this is already been covered, but yeah. The account of the company's CEO Jack Dorsey appears to have been hacked this evening. Well, yesterday evening, technically now. Several offensive messages have been posted to the account, which has 4.2 million followers. I don't know if it's possible for them to get actually banned for that, though. Like, if someone flagged up his tweets, would he actually have gotten banned for this? Or is the account also retweeted posts such as Nazi Germany did nothing wrong. Disavow. The group called themselves the Chuckle Gang. Yeah, the hack appeared to have started at 8:45 p.m. UK time with the initial tweet shout out debug Corey. Nibloom, Joe, Owen, Aqua. Hashtag chuckling Ella. That was when they would have. That was when they went about it through louder memes. These days, Germany have the EU tied behind. Yeah, but still, EU's going to eventually collapse. I think Germany with it, and probably France as well. Another tweet says Intel is there's a bomb at Twitter HQ. After 9 p.m., some of the offensive tweets were deleted, others were still being posted.
And these are the people they want to take care of our entire electronic infrastructure. Yeah, right.
They can't keep themselves from being hacked. What makes you think they can keep you from being hacked?
Yeah, just proves it. Not saying it's going down well, but that's a different matter. Yeah. True. Fuck. Yeah, there are tweets. According to the tech website, The Verge, the hackers appear to be from the same group who attacked a number of YouTube creators and influencers last week on Twitter. The road tweets were sent by a cloud hopper service. Twitter brought us improved MSS service, which suggests Dorsey's account may have been compromised by an authorized third party. Other than obtaining Dorsey's account's password, reports TechScrubs. And the Twitter wrote on the site, we're aware that AdChack was compromised in investigating what happened. The account was previously hacked in 2016. Doesn't say much about your fucking security when the fucking CEO's account can get hacked, does it? I feel like you should maybe look into that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep. Okay, please like and share this thing. I imagine someone's going to want to fucking meet a hangover person read, but okay. Rooster attack. Women killed by rooster as she collected eggs from her backyard in the chicken coop. So, yeah. A woman was killed after receiving a fatal peck from a pet rooster in a backyard chicken coop. I guess pretty sad for women.
Oh my god. She got killed by a chicken.
Yep.
I hate to laugh, but...
Yeah, the victim
That's the first time I've heard. That's the first time I've heard of a cock killing somebody.
Worst skills, I was going to say ding. Yeah, the victim died after she was attacked while collecting eggs in southern Australia. Has been reported. Thanks, Stone. The rooster punctured a varicose vein in the elderly woman's body, causing her to bleed out. Her name and age has not been revealed by the authorities to avoid causing her family further distress.
Damn, Crappy. That's the problem. It's the big problem with acceptance of the LGBT community. Now, even all the old lesbians are getting henpecked.
Yep. Well, spurs to do.
Saying that, though, it's probably the first cock she's had in a while. The shocking incident has now sparked public warning about how harmless animals can still kill. Adelaide's University forensics expert Roger Biard said another woman also died when a cat scratched her leg. Professor Biard, who has been studying animal-related deaths, said he hopes the doctors conducting post-mortems to warn people about hidden dangers. Most importantly, I'm trying to get elderly people to. Well, I'm trying to get elderly people who have varicose veins treated with a simple operation because they're especially vulnerable to being broken. It's not just an animal attack. It's not just the animal attack. Not just the animal attack. That doesn't make sense. You mean attacks. Fucking the sun, learn how to spell. Because we have done studies that show people have just been around their homes and bled to death by knocking their leg in the vein of something. For example, cats are a very common tripping hazard for the elderly around the house that they may never think of. I imagine also blind people as well. Cats rub against ankles and legs, as well as they sit behind people, and commonly lead to tripping injuries in the elderly. So yeah, if you're gonna have a chicken coop, beware of the rooster, because you might just get pecked and die. Man, what to do? I might have to get through all the articles here today. Because I think it's the first time that's literally ever happened in the whole history of this stream.
Crap, we'll have to sidetrack more.
No, I don't. Maybe. So, 25 to 35-year-old Chads in peak performance should have pets now. So you mean chaps? Yeah, I guess so, because otherwise, if you're old, you'll fall over your cat and die.
And then the cat will eat you.
Yep.
The second your ass is dead, the cat eats you.
Yep. You'll just be a bunch of fucking bones, whereas the cat will be like the fucking balloon. Petrol bombs thrown in the streets of Hong Kong and worst day of protest yet. Protesters threw petrol bombs at government headquarters as police attacked passengers at train stations in Hong Kong's most violent day of protest yet. God, Hong Kong's a fucking shitty situation, isn't it?
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they were one of our colonies for about 100 years, and then once it got released back to China, it essentially got put on lease to itself for 50 years, so China's not supposed to have really any influence over them. Like, they effectively run themselves like their own country. And by the looks of this, that's how they see themselves. Which I get why they're doing this. I mean, I wouldn't want a fucking creeping communist state to be overruling over me either.
I agree.
Police hit subway passengers with clubs and sprayed pepper spray on them on Saturday, grinding Hong Kong's transport system to a halt. Can you blame it? It might just be selfish of the K, but it's just surviving. I guess so.
I don't know, Tom. There's a difference between just surviving and, say one day they walk in, find blind girl's skeleton, wondering what happened to her, and there's Chloe in the corner. She's the only true cat lady I know.
It came after the 40s fired water cannons and tear guns at demonstrators in the streets. Who retaliated with lasers and petrol bombs. Today, a train to Hong Kong's airport was suspended as pro-democracy protesters gathered then in retaliation against the violent clashes. The thing is, there's already been protesters that have been gone during the night, hasn't there? Like some of the protesters in Hong Kong have already like disappeared during the night, never to be seen again. Which in itself is worrying.
Well, that's kind of why they're using the lasers is to fool the facial recognition stuff on the cameras.
And yeah, that's why a lot of them wear masks as well.
Uh-huh.
I mean, fair play to them. At least they want to stand up for their freedom. Only people over here are quite happy to have it thrown away. Yeah.
Has anybody noticed that Antifa has not actually shown up to those protests over in Hong Kong?
That's because Antifa probably want China to overrule Hong Kong.
Yeah. Perhaps I was going with the whole, there's a chance of real danger there.
That too.
Yeah,
a bunch of bitches.
Getting locked up in a Chinese jail.
Yeah, but it's a tiny little island going up against the biggest country in the world. There's definitely a danger there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, biggest country in the world in terms of population, anyway. Changed in the airport on Czech Lapcock. I don't think that's how it's pronounced. Island into the city are still running. Transport network mass transit railway said. Several hundred protesters have gathered at the airport of one of Asia's busiest, following online calls to disrupt traffic. Because I thought they're moving out of the way of traffic.
Most of them are.
Well, then they're not really stopping traffic, then, are they?
No, I would doubt that. I'm thinking there's probably a lot of bias in this story.
Yeah, probably. Many carried umbrellas, a symbol of protest movement, and class for police at barricades inside. Police issued a statement yesterday warning the protesters were violating a court injunction against Sunday's demonstration. Police statements said officers were preparing to clear away the protesters. Yep, and they'll probably never be seen again.
Probably not.
Or rather, just no Antifa sales for miles. Maybe the United States and Australia. That's a big cow and fruit to fly there. I can't imagine Hong Kong has an Antifa. I don't see why they need one. I don't even know they could be on the side of China rather than against China.
Probably.
About 200 people have gathered at the British consulate today in support of demonstrators in the city. Yeah, in Hong Kong, the consulates are basically the embassies. Because Hong Kong isn't really a country, even though it acts itself like a country. Even though in all pretty much every single purpose it behaves like a country. They need anti-colonialism. Hong Kong has been the seat of increasingly tense protests over the last 3 months. They started in opposition to a proposed extradition law, but have expanded to include other grievances, demands for greater democracy, and calls for the Chinese territory leader to step down. So hopefully Hong Kong gets its independence from China and just runs itself, but Unfortunately, I never been to see that happening. I mean, they're going against the biggest country in the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, chance of that is slim to none.
Yeah, at least they're trying.
I suppose.
At least they're willing to fight for their own freedom. It's all that is sent flying when Fug walks up behind her and kicks her in a Chinese shopping mall.
Oh, hell no.
Yep.
Humans are disgusting, especially that one.
A 1-year-old girl was sent flying when a Fug kicked her from behind as she walked through a shopping mall. Right, she was 1 year old. One.
See, and the Chinese government is busy on the other side of the fucking country. You know, sitting there pissing and moaning about people saying, hey, we want to be our own country while this shit's happening. Good work, China.
Hello, Rosie. I'm very hungover.
Hello, Rosie.
No, nice thanks for coming by anyway. How are you? If you can even hear me. She was wandering around the Jingjiang shopping center in Shenzhen, China, with her grandmother, 57, a few steps behind, when a stranger kicks her legs out from behind. See, what sort of fucking threat is a 1-year-old girl going to be?
What sort of fucking asshole does that to a 1-year-old child?
The man in this video. Yeah, Rosie hungover. Incidentally, I also have a traffic code in my bedroom now, which I stole. Yeah, I usually said I'm a good weekend.
Please tell me somebody whooped his ass.
Yeah, someone shit it on you. The incident on the 28th of August was caught on camera and has been watched nearly 5 million times in 24 hours online. The man in the striped polo shirt walks up to the toddler standing next to a pillar in the mall and kicks her, sending her sprawling across the floor. The shocked grandmother runs across to check her granddaughter and then confronts the man. He turns around and says something to her, and she decides to check on the 1-year-old. She said the man threatened her with violence and forced her to let him walk away. See, if that was my grandchild, I would have just fucking killed him or something.
I'm kind of torn. If it was me by myself, I'd be more worried about making sure the child was all right. If there was somebody else making sure the child was all right, it's on.
And so, yeah, if it was your son or something, then you would kill them or something.
If it's my son, I can't guarantee that I would kill him, but I guarantee you he ain't gonna be feeling pleasant for a while.
Yeah.
Someone should have just left him a pulp on the floor.
Yep. None of the other witnesses are thought to have intervened, and the girl's family later posted the footage online in hopes of finding the man. The child suffered a few bruises, but no serious injuries. At least the child wasn't seriously injured, so that's good. Shenzhen police investigators revealed on the 29th of August they identified the suspect, however, no arrest is yet to be made. It would be nice if some Western nations with real nations helped out, though. Unfortunately, we were too busy arguing about LGBT plus bollocks. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really think it's our job, though. It's not our job to police what other countries do, unfortunately. I mean, I know America used to do that in the 60s, and then, well, basically during the Cold War, but it's not our job.
The world got mad when we were trying to make sure everyone was nice and safe.
It's like, yeah, we'll bring you democracy by force. Basically used to be America's motto, didn't it?
Used to be.
The bad part is America's not even a democracy. Figure that shit out.
Yeah, constitutional republic.
Yep. Constitutional representative republic.
It just isn't between the two.
Probably.
All right, time for the story about the Pope.
How many kids this time?
Oh, I mean, the citizens piping up over government into valid, fair enough. Pope Francis got stuck in a lift for 25 minutes and had to be rescued by firefighters.
So much for God keeping an eye out for him.
Yeah. Pope Francis has many uplifting experience, but not today when he got stuck in a lift and kept this in Peter Square audience waiting. You know what? After they get to go to see the fucking Pope. The Pope has had many uplifting experience. Too bad he didn't have a heart attack.
Oh, that was
agree nor disagree.
bad.
What?
The Pope has had has a bunch of uplifting experiences. Really?
Yeah.
Thunder, did you come up with that one?
No.
That sounds like a cryptic pun.
I think he also gets it from the same website I do.
It was a lift. Being asked to go too high. The elevator to heaven.
I prefer
There's a Pope that he knows all that glitters is gold, and he's buying an elevator to
The
heaven.
Pope was on his way.
Doesn't work out the same way.
To weekly prayers in St. Peter's Square when the Vatican elevator stopped working and he was trapped inside.
I didn't know the Vatican. Seriously, the Vatican has an elevator. That's hilarious.
It's probably their only elevator as well.
Probably.
I mean, the country's the size of a small village. So, he would have called on divine intervention, but firefighters called that first. And freed the 82-year-old leader in 1.2 billion Roman Catholics around the world. Pope Francis immediately apologized to the waiting crowd after the breakdown caused by a power outage. Left him trapped for 25 minutes. Well, Pope, at least it wasn't that long, was it? The lift was afraid of heights. No, I think we just didn't like lifting. I have to apologize for being late, the smiling pontiff said. At the start of the noontime Angel's address. There was a drop in voltage, and the elevator stopped, and I was trapped. Thank goodness the firefighters arrived. I thank them so much. After 25 minutes of work, they managed to get it started again. Let's give a round of applause to the fire service. And the crowd are waiting patiently for him to appear. His study window overlooking the square immediately burst into tears and applause. To tears and applause. TV networks in Italy, which broadcast the player live, became concerned at the unprecedented delay and began speculating it might be due to health reasons. Now he's an old man. That was like my cigarette. Blind Girl's on Star 6 stream, I think. Or is that just finished? I don't know.
She was on it, but say most of the time, Star 6 stream only lasts about an hour.
Yeah, we're still going last time I checked. They were still going now. No, it's still going. Yeah, it's still going. Say it. Pope Francis is still very energetic, but lost part of his lung in his youth. And constant sciatic pain can cause the occasional papal grimace. It's believed to be the first time the Vatican's head of state got stuck in a lift. I mean, he's not immune to accidents. But yes, he's an old man, that happens. 2 years ago, back in 2017, because, the minute thinks people aren't capable, people can read, but they can't do math. Again in September, he was left badly bruised and had to wear an eye bandage when he lost his balance in the Pope Mobile on a trip to Colombia. And banged his head, stating his white cassock with blood. She's been scratched to death and eaten by a cat. And the Vatican said he received eye treatment and was fine. He joked, "I was punched, I'm fine, and the bruises on his face clearly visible." In yesterday's events, the Pope challenged government to take drastic measures to combat global warming and reduce the fossil fuels, saying the world was experiencing climate emergency. Yeah, it's coming from the same guy who literally travels everywhere in a fucking box on the back of a car. Then I guess, didn't he also say that you shouldn't have walls while at the same time having a complete wall around his own country?
Yes.
Fucking hypocrite. And again, the whole thing's hypocrites, though, because the fucking Satanic Bible is published by a company owned by the Vatican.
Won't surprise me.
Well, between that and the Vatican is rumored to have the largest porn collection in the world.
Not surprising. And I can take a guess at what kind of porn that is as well.
The kind that would be illegal if anybody else had it.
And completely fucking disgusting as well. Argentinian-born Francis is the 266th Pope to hold office and is the first Latin American and the first Jesuit to lead the church. He's so popular on Twitter, he has more than 15 million people following. And the rest is just, and the last bit is just stuff that's been already said. So yeah, no, this is just fucking grim. I feel like. Moving on from the Pope. Catholics in Vatican, Jews in Israel, all up for open borders. Turns the cashews, that does. I'm gonna have the Fleabag creator change his drunken main character from American to Scottish. Yeah. Alright, bye Rosie. Thanks for stopping by.
Now, why am I seeing the top of that person's head and thinking, why does that look like AOC?
Thought the market might do a little bit, yeah. Phoebe Waller-Bridge changed vile villain Martin into alcoholic Scottish. Thanks best for an upcoming stage event of our hit TV show. And I see the whole face looks nothing like AOC.
No, now she looks like Danny from Cradle of Filth.
I'm really surprised they changed the drunk guy into a Scottish person. I mean,
it's a stereotype for a reason. A lot of times, stereotypes are true.
every time there's always a Scottish person.
Yeah, drunks. The Scots get drunk a lot and wake up with traffic cones in their bedroom. But
Yeah.
you know, I had to, Scotty. Sorry.
Yeah. The things you do when you're drunk, just I don't even know what to do with it now. It's just there.
You're probably gonna have to get rid of it unless you want to get in trouble for it.
I should be fine. I mean, hopefully, anyway.
Well, if they come knocking on your door and say, "Did you steal a traffic cone?" Just hand it to them here. Say, "Here, sorry, I was drunk."
I might just put it back. I don't know. Fleabag fans are really after one of the main characters was changed into an alcoholic Scottish pest. Sex pest. Creator Phoebe Waller-Bridge decided to swap nationality of Fleabag's brother-in-law Martin from American to Scottish for a one-woman show in Widham's Theatre in London. Oversaturation syndrome. It opened in August and will be performed by Waller-Bridge until the 14th of September. The show is set to be Fleabag's last. I sold out. It's the first time she has played Fleabag live since its debut at Edinburgh Fringe in 2013. The show has been turned into two hit BBC series, and won the clutch of awards. Superfan Lucy Green, a media and cultural studies student at Leeds University, wrote her dissertation on Fleabag and has seen the live show twice. She said it's a bit of a surprise Martin is Scottish, but maybe it's because we're so used to seeing him as a mannequin. Is it okay to change a character from a nasty American to a Scottish one? I don't really see the reason behind that. I do. I mean,
just cause? Who cares?
Whenever there's a film, like the weirdest one, whenever there's usually a film of a Scottish person in, they're usually always the weirdest character that is, or the drunk, or both. That's just the way things are.
Or the mechanic. Circa Star Trek. Just saying.
Although on the other hand, it's a nice gesture and very clever. It's deliberate to have a Scottish touch on the final production, considering Scotland is where the show began. Fans of Fleabag official Facebook group were stunned by Martin's makeover. American Brett Gilman played him on TV while Scott Bill Patterson played Fleabag's dad. In all interviews, said he was shocked to discover that she had originally envisioned him with discussing perversions, tampons, and tampons to be Scottish. Yeah, it did make sense. Tickets for the show are sold out. Sold out in half an hour and are now on resale for £775. Jeez. Playback fans will be able to watch the screening of the play at Eastwood Park Theatre in Giffnock near Glasgow in October. So yeah, reading stories like that, you can tell it's a slow news there. Not like there's really anybody watching this anywhere. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, God, this is painful to say the least. Time for some Police Scotland being kind of stupid again. Shocking date rape figures spark new police campaign on the consent. More than 160 people reported being raped during the first or second date in 2018/19.
Regret is not rape.
And without consent is rape. That's not yet consent. What's it really going to do? I mean, rape is no, rape is wrong. So
I got a feeling there's a lot of people that are mentioned in the story that it's regret, not rape.
Yeah, maybe. And plus, it just said reported rape, so we don't know if those are actually rapes.
Right.
Those just reported as rapes. So we also need to know how many were actually convicted. More than 1 in 10 people raped by someone they were not previously involved with were attacked on the first or second date, figures show. Police said more than 160 people in Scotland reported being raped in the very early stages of dating in 2018/19. This meant almost 11% of rapes committed by someone other than a partner or former partner happened on the first or second day after the pair met online. Sex, flirt, meet, sex. Without consent is rape. Cops have started a hashtag Get Consent campaign, warning sex without consent is rape. Like, the people honestly need to be told this. I feel like this is like saying that you should take. This is like saying you should tell Muslims not to fucking bomb people, or black people not to steal. You know.
Well, to be fair and honest, at this point in the day, everybody keeps making an excuse for previously aforementioned bad guys of the religious persuasion. Everybody's defending them so much. Maybe somebody should tell them not to bomb shit.
I'm going to disavow that one. I'm just using it as an example.
I like explosives used in either construction or sometimes they're really pretty if you mix them with the right elements and launch them up into the sky.
I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to use explosives.
Probably not, but it's so much fun.
I'm surprised you still have all your hands and stuff.
Well,
Yeah, do you have all 10 fingers?
well, I almost cut the tip of my thumb off today using the X-Acto knife, but yeah, it's all there.
That's kind of surprising, actually. Almost it says the 160 figure is a shocking statistic, especially when the number of incidents is likely to be significantly underreported. Well, maybe There's really no way of knowing that. It could be, it could not be. What's how many of the 106 years is lying? Again, no way of knowing him. Assistant Chief Constable Gillian McDonald said no one should go on a day expecting or feeling entitled to get sex, just as no one goes on a day expecting to get raped. Morning, Tom. Aussie Tom, that is.
Hey, Tom.
Not anyone feel bullied, encouraged, or shamed into having sex because they expect some believes they're entitled to it because they paid for drinks or dinner. Campaigns should mainly aimed at men aged 18 to 35, which police said is the peak age for offending. Stanley Brinley of Rape Crisis Scotland said sex without consent is rape, and consent must always be free and willing. Like, why do we need to be told this? There really is no fucking reason to tell people like, oh, you must not rape. Yeah, this seems stupid to me.
I've never understood it.
Anyway, since we have Americans on here, we're going to talk about guns.
Woohoo. What's up my alley?
I like them.
Castro vows to maximize executive authority to pass gun control if elected.
Can't do it.
I wonder if there's any relation to Fidel. Which may explain a lot. Former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Gillian Castro has outlined he would do what he would do about gun control if elected president in the wake of a mass shooting rampage that killed 7 people in his home state of Texas over the weekend. Don't violate that which doesn't want it. No shit. Yeah, Tom, in English telling them people are stupid and they be told they shouldn't rape. Castro, among the 10 Democrats who qualified for the third debate on the 12th of September, said someday he would make the most of his presidential powers and influence to pass with new restrictions on firearms. You know, most of the guns are obtained illegally, so it wouldn't matter either way.
Pretty much, and some aren't supposed to have them, but get them anyway.
These people don't realize something. All this talk of why the government should take people's guns are exactly why the protections are in there to keep the government from being able to take their guns.
You have to be able to protect yourself from a tyrannical government, and they've neutered the crap out of us. So you can't really do that.
First of all, I would maximize executive authority to do what we can to keep families safer from gun violence. Meet the Press specifically saying he would require people who regularly sell guns to be classed as firearm dealers.
Wait. Say that again?
He said he wants people who regularly sell guns to be classed as firearm dealers.
Oh my God.
Aren't people who...
If I'm not mistaken, you have to have licensing to sell guns.
Yeah, so
people who regularly sell guns are firearms dealers.
Yeah. Must seem like he wants them to have like a license for it.
You do?
So basically, he's asking for something that's already in place. Basically,
Well,
Yes.
that's what a lot. That's one of the problems is a lot of these firearms laws that a lot of people are talking about passing already exist. When they talk about the whole universal background check, they're talking about private sale. They're talking about having people having to do background checks for private sales too, which actually is already, which is already a stipulation in the law as it exists now. If you knowingly sell somebody a gun who's not particularly or is not allowed to own a gun, or get a gun for somebody who's not allowed to own one, you just became a straw purchaser, and therefore, against the law, and your ass going to jail.
pretty much, yeah.
And then, as far as this, I can't remember the damn stipulation, but if you said it all on as far as what he's saying, it depends on what is classified as quote unquote regularly. I mean, the thing is, if he's saying one gun a year, I have to go get an FFL license. If it's 2 guns a year, I don't have to get one. Because hell, I'll buy a gun. I'll buy a gun, have it for a couple of years, and get rid of it. Not because not for any nefarious reason. It's because, hey, it's a gun that I don't really shoot anymore, so why have it?
It looks pretty on the wall. No.
Fair enough, I guess.
But then the thing is, no matter what, if he does this stuff by executive order, that is an impeachable offense there, Sparky. Direct violation of the Constitution by executive order is an impeachable offense. All right, rant over.
First of all, it maximizes executive authority to do. Critic says, hang on, Scotsman. You didn't know that, Critic, wouldn't you? First of all, it maximizes executive authority to do with it. We can to keep our families safe from gun violence. For Teresa. Meet the Prime specifically, saying he would require people who regularly sell guns to be classed as firearm dealers, which is already technically a thing. Anybody who sells more than 5 firearms in a year is classed that way. You're asked to conduct universal background checks, he said. He then discussed what is believed to be where basic measures he hoped Congress would pass if he helped pressure the Republicans to compromise. I think if you do that, people are just going to move to other things of killing people. You can kill somebody with pretty much anything if you try hard enough.
I mean, someone just got killed with a chicken, so yeah, anything's a weapon.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
You can kill someone with a fucking pencil if you try hard enough,
Tell you what. Dear Julian Castro, by all means, tell you what. Let's go ahead and break out law of the law of unintended consequences. There, Sparky. Okay. Everybody who regularly said what they say 5 a year or 9 a year.
5.
5. Anybody who sells more than 4 or 5 guns a year has to go out and get an FFL. Okay, cool, fine, great. You know what you just did, right? All those people that go out and sell more than 5 guns a year, you just gave them the legal authority to have automatic weapons. Good work, jackass. You just circumvented your own law because that licensing you have to sell, to sell weapons like that. Well, it ain't but one extra step and a few extra bucks to have the FFL or have a federal firearms license classification that allows you to possess, maintain, and fire fully automatic weapons. Good work, jackass. You just made it worse. But frankly, I'm not surprised because this is an argument. This is an argument. You know, the gun/anti-gun argument is happening against people who don't, or happening with people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Hang on the kilt or on the gallows. Scots would die by a kilt. Okay, so they're now planning how to kill me in the chat. Well, I don't blame them. We will push the legislation in Congress to get common sense gun safety legislation done. And, you know, put as much pressure on these swing state Republican senators who are up for re-election in 2020 to get them to go with something you can compromise on. Not like you just start compromising on your rights, it's just going to get infringed slowly. I wouldn't compromise on anything. To get them to go with something that can compromise on at least universal background check, because I think we can do more in the future. Here's the thing, what if they should work on it? If anything, they should work on more like mental health care and stuff like that. So
They
people
should.
doing stuff like this. That's really our life here. It's a mental issue and also a security issue as well. I know it sounds bad, but I think like if there was guns in schools, there'd be less people would die during school shootings.
Yes, because the
Yeah.
the good guy with a gun would kill the shit out of the bad guy with a gun.
I mean, having guns in school isn't ideal, but you know, that's still better than having a load of kids die, isn't it? So yeah.
It's better to have one and not need one than need one and not have one.
Yeah. The world's asshole didn't want to handle. Who's the world's asshole? Me, I guess. Castro has called out President Trump, saying the biggest lies Trump told during his presidency have been his promises of pushing for universal background checks after shootings in Parkland, Florida, El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. President hopeful claimed, in the light of recent mass shootings, Americans have wanted Congress to take action.
No. Americans. Dear Congress, Americans want you to, when they say take action, they mean step out of the fucking way and let us protect ourselves.
And here's another thing I just thought as well. You know, Antifa are effectively becoming a paramilitary.
Yeah.
And they're getting guns and stuff. Well, I wonder if Antifa if someone dies from this, would that mean that Antifa then, would that mean that these people would then come up with the same arguments for gun control if it happens with Antifa?
Depending on who it is, yes. Because they're too busy worrying about partisan bullshit than they are worried about allowing people to protect themselves.
All they care about is vanity and not really about the people.
No, because my thought was if it's someone who's technically on their side, I would have thought that they would not say anything because they're on their side. If that makes sense.
They're not going to invoke keeping the Antifa types from getting guns, because a lot of the Antifa types who are getting guns are ones who are not permitted to own them anyway.
Yeah, but a lot of people who do mass shootings aren't permitted to own them either. So Having a nation with more guns than people isn't ideal, is a reality, though. Only if I'm more likely wanting to kill you than they are. They just suck at doing it.
God damn it! I hate when they do that shit. Oh, more guns than people. More guns than people. There's also more cars than people. Does that mean we need to? Does that mean we outlaw cars? Okay.
I mean, you have to have your little 22, your like 9mm, all the way up to every once in a while. You just need the 50 BMG.
More and more people here in Texas and across the country want Congress and their politicians to do something. At the very least, that's suggested. We need to get universal background checks. Then our news assault weapons ban and limiting the capacity of these magazines. Many Republicans have also said they hope to take action to curb violence. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, Caliph, said his parents have been interested in common sense solutions to prevent this from happening in the future, while at the same time protecting due process for anyone who is a law-abiding citizen.
Well, they're tying people's hands behind their back, making it where they can't take guns where they need to be protected. So,
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton told Fox News Sunday morning feature. The state officials, including Governor Greg Abbott, got together as part of a domestic terror task force to address the issue. Paxton said he would like Congress to do the same to try demonstrating what kind of practices would change from this, or at least allow us to respond more quickly. President Trump tweeted this morning, "Great job by Texas law enforcement and first responders in handling the terrible shooting tragedy yesterday. Thank you also to the FBI, Greg Abbott, and all others. A very tough and sad situation." Yep.
holy crap!
Yeah, must be in the dead zone.
The only way to solve the problem of mass shootings without allowing people to protect themselves is to put a cop on every corner and every 10 feet. The problem with that is, do you really want that kind of police state? The only possible solution is let us protect ourselves.
Yep. That'll be unmanageable and too expensive.
To protect ourselves?
Not for police to be on every corner.
It's not going to happen. It just won't happen. They don't have the funding they don't have the manpower. And even as far as going down to, Officer Johnson overactive hemorrhoids over there is going to be too busy getting his dick wanked by the hooker on the corner to worry about that guy getting shot.
We'll be right back.
All right. The thing is, isn't that statistic something like 10 guns for every American or something? Thunder?
Somewhere near there. It's a fair bit, which that's not, which there are a fair bit of Americans who just don't own guns, period, which means there's there's a fair bit of people who are like a couple safes jam-packed full of rifles.
I'm one of them. I'm one of them because when it comes to the you're really diehard gun owners, you're really good gun enthusiasts who have multiple rifles or multiple firearms. Let's be honest, it's like a damn teenage girl with purses. They got a purse for this and a purse for that and a purse for this. You know?
Well, you can get just the Desert Eagle. I've seen the one has it in 357, 45, and then the standard 58E. That's 3 right there, and you have to have them.
58?
Or shoot, what's the 50? Can't remember the numbers after the
50
pistol
AE?
round. Yeah, AE.
50. Okay.
But yeah, you can have multiple calibers of the same gun or same make model. Yeah. Always fun to have options.
It's a matter of also what you want to do with them. You brought up the BMG before, right?
Yes.
Okay, the 50 BMG.
That
You can't you cannot use anything. You cannot use a 50 BMG on anything that is living, probably within a quarter mile, unless you want it to disintegrate.
you try to kill a gopher that you don't have the body.
Dude, I shot a hornet. You know those big bell end hornets. I shot one of those big bell end hornets with the 30-30. Well, not only did the hornet disappear, so did the root. The root that the hornet was sitting on.
You want to punch a hole and kill something on the other side of a fairly thick tree.
Well, you've heard me talk about my 50 Beowulf round, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not kidding when I say a 50 Beowulf is nothing says fuck you, the two guys behind you, and the engine block of your car.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the thing is, like I said, when it comes to calibers and styles of rifle and all that, there's so many choices. It's like a damn teenage girl with her purses. Or my wife with shoes.
Why do they need so many shoes? I never understood.
Because they're women. Like
I have boots and tennis shoes. That's it. I don't see any need for any others.
I've got work boots. I've got the boots I wear to work. I've got boots that I wear when I'm doing anything around the house that I need boots for, and I got a pair of tennis shoes. That's it. The reason I have 2 pairs of boots is, one, I'm not dragging mud and clay from running around inside at the yard at the house into my work truck.
True.
And nor do I feel like sitting and taking a garden hose to my damn work or my boots anyway. So.
And I should end this. So we got anything to fill?
I'm going to check our channel starting up again tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. going to Springfield, Pennsylvania.
And if you go to Green Thunder D Mighty, every day around 10 a.m. Eastern will be another episode of Fallout New Vegas. I think tomorrow I am going to end up around Boulder City.
Woohoo!
Fair enough, and also blind trucking in about an hour and 20 minutes.
20 minutes actually.
No, it's an hour and it says 1, I think. It says she starts at 1, so 8 for you.
Huh.
Oh, she pushed it back an hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. You're all a bunch of cunts. Goodbye.
Don't piss on the shower curtain.